Ugh. I'm so mad. I was so excited. The freaking banner got announced and everything. We finally are getting Asnot. We're finally getting a 1,000-year Blood War Byakuya again. And let's just quickly get right into it. I'm going to go over the stats and skills and my overall thoughts and stuff. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of upset because I already uploaded my video, but the video is not ready to go live because I goofed somewhere. Now, going into Asnot, let's be real here, he's probably the one that everyone's most excited about. He's a Quincy Sternritter with a no affiliation killer. Asnot has slow and weaken, which is very, very good. He's a mind unit as well. Going into his soul trait and his utility skills, we have strong attack recharge, 14%, so an enhanced link, which is good. He has full stamina only, reduced strong attack cooldown 6%, so a total of strong attack recharge 20%, which is really nice. Freeze immunity, sprinter +1, and then he also has Havoc 20%, so increased range for his strong attacks. We have Sharpshooter, so guard break, nullify range resistance, which is awesome. We have multi-barrier +2, no boost, no heal on that, which is kind of unfortunate, to be honest, considering that I believe that barriers have a 40-second cooldown as opposed to like the heals 30-second. So only getting one skill on that is only getting one type of utility strong attack there is kind of unfortunate. Debilitator +5 seconds for the weaken and slow, which means that you're kind of debilitating the enemy completely, which is kind of cool. Going to the damage skills, right? We have Frenzy +2, Status Ailment Spiritual Pressure boost 80%, damage to weaken enemies 40%, damage to slow enemies 40%. That's really strong. And then for the Soul Bomb, we have Devastation 40%, which will scale well with the Status Ailment Spiritual Pressure boost. And since you're automatically proccing slow and weaken, you're also getting access to the damage to weaken and damage to slow enemies 40%. One thing to note here is that since weaken actually deals 50% more damage automatically, just without even this skill, when you actually times it by 1.8, which would be the 40% plus 40% of the damage to weaken enemies and slow enemies, these you add, they don't get multiplied in, aside from like the original weaken. You'll see here that we're actually dealing a 170% damage increase if the enemy happens to get hit with both status elements. That's insane, considering that when you get your status element spiritual pressure boost, you're dealing an additional like 70% extra damage to them. Like say we're dealing just base damage without spiritual pressure boost, we proc the weaken, and then from now on we're not only dealing the 170% because they got a status element, but we're also getting spiritual pressure boost, so we're actually dealing a total of 359% more damage. That's kind of dumb. Now, going into his actual kit is where, in my opinion, he falters a bit. He has the 40% magnification pushback range collision attack, so everything in front of you is going to get dragged across the floor, which is pretty cool. Not good against co-op enemies that can't be moved, so characters like Epic Raids, characters like IT, where you have a lot of bosses. He's not really going to perform all that well here. He's also not a farmer, so you're not really going to be bringing him there anyways. But he seems pretty good. His second strong attack is going to be a vacuum into pushback attack. So it's going to literally pull the enemies in and push them back. So with his 40% mag, with the vacuum pushback, he has a lot of protection in terms of keeping the enemy away from himself. And if the enemies get slowed and weakened, he can literally pick them off with even something as weak as his NAD string, since he is an SP based unit, right? His third strong attack is a quote unquote barely full screen according to Hiken. And that means that it's most likely a 900 AoE strong attack, and then with Havoc it becomes like 1080. So that's my guess by what he means by barely full screen. Unfortunately, I already saw all the gameplay, so we're going to talk about it in a bit, but I do want to talk quickly about Byakuya, which is where this is where I goofed and why I had to remake this whole video. He did not get Havoc. I was under the impression that he got Havoc, so I said he had the 3K Ling Beam, like he got a 960, this man clapping cheeks, this man taking everything he can. I was wrong. This character does not have Havoc. That's huge, because Havoc, in my opinion, is relatively necessary for almost all content in this game, especially when you have a limp dick skinny penis type for strong attack. That thing is flaccid. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is. Let's just talk about Byakuya now. He is a tech unit, no affiliation killer. This character has a soul trait of damage inflicted at full stam 30%, which is pretty good. Going into his damage, normally I start with utility, but going into his damage, this character is a boost character. He has Frenzy +2. He has full stamina 30% damage. Then he has full stamina only increased strong attack damage plus 40%. He has damage to weaken enemies plus 40%. All that with the team boost and then the frenzy plus 2. Really, really good damage. He's gonna hit like a truck. He really will. My problem is that like Havoc really kind of opens the door a lot to you playing a little bit more risky. You having to pay attention to how you line enemies up is really why I stress Caleb just add Havoc to every character, maybe even to some NAD based characters. Like, so these characters have like freaking 13, 14, 15 skills sometimes. You might as well just give them something that makes them good, right? You know what I'm saying? Going into utility skills, we have Marauder, which is good. He's a melee-based character, which is kind of weird. But hey, we have a no affiliation killer unit for range with Asnot, and then a melee with Byakuya coming out. Fire immunity, Sprinter +1, Marauder, Debilitator +5 seconds, so we can last a bit longer. Enhancer, booster skill. I love the booster skill. Start barrier +10, so you'll be a bit protected there. Strong attack recharge as a skill, and then devastation 40% for his soul bomb. I'll be real with you, him not getting Havoc, I'm glad my boy Leno joined the Discord, like joined the voice chat and literally just started saying he's like they didn't give him Havoc, and I'm like wait, what? And I had to like scrap my whole video. As you saw, it was already uploaded. All right, but let's talk about the gameplay, right? I'm gonna skip. We can keep this brief, and maybe we might even keep this under like 10 minutes.
Can inflict great damage.
Now I think that his strong attacks do look really good. I actually think his first strong attack is probably one of the best in the game, like the best animations for a Byakuya in a long time. We have not had a it's not a 3K link beam. We have not had a beam on a Byakuya's first strong attack since Spirit Society Byakuya, which is like 2019. I think it was 4 years ago. Like, that's crazy. So it's like kind of unfortunate. This character, 1000-year Blood War SP based character without Havoc, to me is the craziest shit, bro. I was so happy with this banner. I'm like, it might be a 2-character banner, but both the characters are great. The second strong attack is an 800 AoE distance second strong attack. I thought it had Havoc, so I thought it was a 960 AoE. I'm like, yes, bro. I was praising the skies, bro.
Finally, his special move.
Damn, that's foul, bro. His soul bomb looks clean too. I love Asnot's art. Asnot has some of the best art I've seen in a while. Now it's kind of like I'm really hoping that Kayla comes out with more original character illustrations.
His soul trait is strong attack recharge time reduction, which can be strengthened.
Asnot looks so depressed here, bro.
14%. He is a ranged, strong attack type character whose second strong attack provides a barrier.
That's how I was, bro, when I found out I got cheated on when I was a kid, bro.
His innate skills are sprint +1.
I was like, bro.
Stamina only, reduced.
I was like, what? 8? I was like 6 years old, 7 years old. It's like, fuck that bitch, bro.
Here's a list with the rest of his skills.
Damage to slow, damage to weaken enemies 40%. That's pretty good.
He can inflict great damage to enemies.
Yeah, so first strong attack, pushback. Unfortunate that he didn't get status elements on his second strong attack, but getting it on his first and third is still pretty good. With Frenzy +2, I think that he'll proc relatively often as long as you're not one-shotting enemies. And not to sound messed up, but since he's getting a 40% mag first strong attack, he's not going to one-shot. I wish that he got status elements on his second, because since his second is a vacuum pushback, that's a ton of hits and a ton of, in my opinion, wasted potential of potentially getting your SP boost. Like, if you pay attention here, right, he picked up his SP boost off of the third strong attack, but here he has no he doesn't have his SP boost, right? He pops his second strong attack, he can't get his SP boost, but you'll see, let me go over here. Okay, so he goes from 109 hits. Since he has Frenzy +2, that's a lot of other hits in the background. 109 will go up to 117. You have 8 hits there. The chances of proccing slow/weaken there with 8 hits. The enemies died. It would have been much more hits. I think that this actually would hit how many? I think it's 5 for this type of attack, the vacuum itself. So with Frenzy plus 2, it would be 15 hits on the vacuum, and then the pushback itself would be another 8 hits. Like with 23 hits, you're getting, I want to say, an 85% chance of proccing a status ailment, and he just can't because they gave him a barrier. And then they not only did they give him a barrier, but he also gets an elongated strong attack cooldown because of it.
When combining the barrier on his second,
so the first strong attack obviously is going to pretty much kill. You'll see here that it was able to go through all these enemies, and he didn't proc his status ailment. That's kind of unfortunate. But I mean, like, he doesn't have increased status ailment chance, and in my opinion, he has good damage off rip. Like, good damage, not great damage, but good damage off rip, even without the spiritual pressure boost, thanks to the frenzy plus 2. And you're probably going to give him a lot of full stamina damage boost or good links and accessories, right?
Next, let's look more closely at his attacks. Here are the normal attacks.
I do like his nat string. I want to make note that this is a different Byakuya, this is a different nat string than we normally get. Restart. This is a different nat string than the original Asnot that's in the game's files. For those that don't know, that have been following it like 3 years ago, Asnot actually had a completely different nat string. You can look it up yourself. Asnot coming to BBS, and just make sure that it's a 4-year-old video, and you'll see that he has a completely different nat string. So it's interesting that Caleb decided to change it up for this one, because he was also a range character.
Now for the strong attacks.
Push back.
Attack 1 goes forward and pushes the
I do like this strong attack. He has a lot of protection, which is cool. Vacuum pushback.
This attack gathers enemies in front of the character while inflicting damage. This attack also provides a barrier.
I do like the barrier as well. Like, his animations are really clean. Like, you'll see this third strong attack, it like brings down like ice particle. Well, it's not ice particle. I call them ice particles. They bring down like the ice particles, and then you'll see here that he puts his face there. It's so creepy.
Finally, his special move.
Bankai. Senbon Sakura. Ah, dude. Like, him pulling out the medallion is sick.
And that wraps it.
This is me going to like my Tinder dates back in like 2008, bro. Let me stop. I don't even think we had Tinder back then. We have to go to like fucking, what is it? Yeah, Craigslist. There's no way. Let me stop. Oh, this banner comes out on my birthday. Oh, that's cool. I can't even sleep on my birthday, bro. That's tough.
Will be available from the 16th of November, so check it out when it comes
The
out.
art looks cool. Byakuya's art looks cool. Why didn't you get Havoc, bro? Dang, now I'm tired. You like, I expected this video to be out, and like now my brain's like coming down. I'm excited. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think. I'm very disappointed with the Byakuya not getting Havoc, but I am happy with the Asnot. I think he could have been a bit more broken. It is a 2-character banner. One thing to note about this banner, right? I'm trying to remember everything that I've done, and I'm like, I talked about the banner, but no, that was in the last video. Going into this, you'll see here, new characters added, and they specifically said new 5-star guaranteed at steps 10 and 20. I like this. That means that you have a 50-50 shot of getting one of the new banner characters at step 10 and step 20, and I'm assuming that you're getting a guaranteed step for a 5-star, not new 5-star, but 5-star at steps 5 and 15. So honestly, 10 steps guaranteed banner character, I'm cool with that. You also get the new character summons ticket, which is a selector at step 25, which I do like, but I'm still kind of upset that it's so, in my opinion, unobtainable unless you're a whale. And that's another reason why I really wanted to make the video that I made. And it just feels like Caleb's kind of coasting when it comes to BBS in terms of the content we get. Like, note that we're only getting characters. We're not really getting content updates aside from resurrections, which, let's be real here, they're just adding a skill. They're not really changing the character. And I'm really hoping stuff changes. I really am. But like, based on the financial report, I made a video about it in response to Cool's video, because I think Cool's very knowledgeable when it comes to that kind of stuff. it's kind of unfortunate. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. I was hoping not to make this video too long, but yeah, stay blessed, y'all. See y'all next one. Peace.